When public protests erupted in Iran 2 weeks ago, US President Donald Trump declared, if Iran shoots and kills peaceful protesters as it had done before, the United States will come to their aid. We are ready and prepared to act. Trump repeated his threat weeks later, telling Iranians help is on the way and that the US is locked and loaded. 2 weeks later, the world watches in anticipation of a potential US-Iran war. Speculations were rife that on the night between Wednesday and Thursday, the US had planned to launch a strike, though not exactly an aerial raid. Israel was in a state of alert and Iran closed its airspace, waiting for an escalation. But the US president seems to have a sudden change of mind. On Wednesday, Trump appeared to back away from the threat, saying he received assurances that the killings would cease. What happened along the way? There were reports that Gulf diplomacy was at the center of the American decision to give Iran a chance. A senior Saudi official revealed to AFP that Saudi Arabia, Qatar and Oman led the diplomatic effort to convince Trump to call off his potential attack. Riyadh, Doha and Muscat led a long, frantic diplomatic last-minute effort to persuade Trump to give Tehran a chance to show good intention and to avoid an uncontrollable situation in the region. But Israeli media have a different take on the issue. Though the Gulf diplomacy was instrumental in Trump's decision, the decisive moment was the phone conversation between Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. A report that appeared on Thursday night in the New York Times stated that Israel Prime Minister Netanyahu pressured Trump to postpone the planned attack. The world leader spoke over the phone on Wednesday, and Netanyahu asked Trump to hold off on attacking Iran. It was unclear from the report if the conversation took place before or after Trump's statement. The report noted that Netanyahu personally requested Trump to reconsider the attack plan. White House spokesperson Karoline Leavitt confirmed that a conversation did take place between the two, but refused to comment on the content of the conversation. But Netanyahu spoke to Trump on Wednesday, the same day the US president said he received information from very important source on the other side that Iran had stopped killing protesters and was not continuing executions. This seems to indicate that Trump is backing down from a possible US attack, which he had been considering for days. Trump was informed by Netanyahu that an attack on Iran would not necessarily lead to the fall of regime and that the army would need additional forces. Israel's Channel 12 also reported that after a series of consultations at the Kiryam military headquarters overnight, Israel informed the US that it is not currently pushing for a strike but will support any American decision. Trump's Middle East envoy, Steve Witkoff, seems to confirm it. I spoke with Iranians yesterday and we were concerned about the mass hangings of protesters. The president announced that it was cancelled and it will not take place. I hope there's a diplomatic solution to the Iranian issue, Witkoff continued. Uranium enrichment, ballistic missiles, they have to reduce their stockpile and their proxies. Iran is in a serious economic problem, a lot of problems. If they want to return to the family of nations, they have to solve this diplomatically because the alternative is very bad, said Witkoff. The report added that US also realized that the price of attack would be heavier than they thought and decided in the meantime to return to diplomatic channel, partly out of the understanding that the counter reaction would harm American bases, Israel and the energy industry in the Gulf. The loyalty of the paramilitary force IRGC to the Iranian regime also contributed to the decision, as did the Netanyahu-Trump conversation. Meanwhile, White House claims that only Trump knows what he is going to do and a small team of advisors. He continues to monitor and understand that as a result of his words, 800 executions were cancelled and lives were saved, Karoline Leavitt said. Israel and US are also holding daily consultations, according to a report which said US Secretary of State Marco Rubio also spoke with Netanyahu on Wednesday. That said, the US maintains that the military options remain on the table for Trump and the current pause is also being viewed as an opening for diplomacy. Channel 12 also cited a US official who said the Iranian regime would collapse unless Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei agreed to speak directly with Trump. Meanwhile, President Donald Trump says any military action against Iran would be swift and decisive. According to sources, the president told his advisors that if such an action were taken, he expected it to deal a decisive blow to the regime. Trump also gave an interview to Reuters in which he said the regime in Iran may collapse, but added, any regime can fall. Whether it happens or not, it is going to be an interesting time. For more updates on Middle East, visit our special microsite at theweek.in.